In this video, I'm going to show you how to set up a new Google Analytics account. So Google Analytics works on your existing Google account, so you'd need to have a Gmail address or some other recognized account that Google will know. And you go to analytics.google.com and then select the account that you want to log in with. If you don't see your account listed here, then you just click use another account and enter your account details. And you'll come to a screen like this. So this presupposes that you don't have any existing Google Analytics accounts or properties. You are literally starting from scratch. So we click on Start Measuring. And it says, what do you want to call the account? So I'm going to call this the Honours Awesome Tech Training Google account. I'm going to keep the account data sharing settings as they are and just click Next. So the property name is the website that I want to be tracking. And I'm going to be tracking this site. So I'm just going to copy the domain and stick it in there. We need to change the time zone so that it's reporting where most of our visitors are. So change this, actually we're in Ireland. Let's see if we can put Ireland. We can. And if you've got any kind of e-commerce on the store, you obviously want it to be tracking sales in the right currency. So this is euros. And then we click Next. So then it asks us what kind of business is it. So this is, let's say, beauty and fitness. It's a yoga teacher. So beauty and fitness seems appropriate, and it's a small business. And then it's asking us what are the objectives of the business. So what is the website that we're going to track, trying to achieve? And this will influence the default reports that it gives you right out of the box. So you can tick whatever you like in here. I'm going to say that we want to generate leads. We want to understand our web traffic. We don't have any sales. We want to see how people view the website. That's probably fine for now. Then we have to accept the terms and conditions for our region, which is once again Ireland. So I agree. And I agree. So where is the data that we're going to collect coming from? Is it coming from a website? Is it coming from an Android app? Is it coming from an Apple app? So in this example, it's coming from a website. Now it's asking, what's the website URL that you want to track? So again, we can just stick that in. We don't need the HTTPS and the slashes, because those are already there. So we've got HTTPS / and then the URL. And we're going to call that, by default, it's just going to call it my website, which I think is fine for this. Enhanced measurement is some of the things that Google can track on your website. So you want this turned on. It's turned on by default. So that's all good. Actually, it won't let me continue without giving it a stream name. So let's say it's the Free to Be Yogi website. So we're fine with enhanced measurement on. We click create and continue. So now it is telling us it's going to generate a little piece of code, a little tag, and that piece of code needs to go onto our website. So for a WordPress site, if you want to, you can use Google's install through with WordPress kind of process. But I'm just going to work through the process of installing manually, which is pretty much as straightforward. So this is the code that we need to add to our website. So depending on the content management system that you're using, you might copy and paste that and send it to your developers and say, we just need this code added to every page on our site. I actually have a WordPress site, so I'm going to go through the process of adding this, but I'm going to install it manually just so you can see how to do that. So we're going to copy the code. It's just been copied onto the clipboard. So I go to my website and I go to the back end, to the dashboard. And there are various different ways that you can do this. So Google has its own plugin that you can use to do this if you want to, but I prefer to do it in a slightly different way. I'm going to use a plugin called Header and Footer Code Manager. So we go down to plugins and we click Add Plugin. And we search for HFCM, Header Footer Code Manager. And it's this one. So this is a good plugin which easily enables you to add little snippets of code into what's called the header of your site. So the bit of the page that gets loaded before the actual content is loaded. So we're going to use it for Google Analytics, but if you are, you've got a Facebook pixel or you've got a LinkedIn Insight tracking tag or any other kind of tracking tags that you're using, you can install them all using this one plugin, which is why I prefer it to some of the other options. So we click Install Now. Once it's installed, as with all WordPress plugins, we then click Activate. And now you can see that it's added Header and Footer Code Manager onto our left-hand menu. So I'm going to click on that. And we add a snippet. So the snippet is the little tag, the piece of code that we're going to add. So we click on Add New Snippet. And we're going to call it Google Analytics tag. It's an HTML snippet. We want it to be deployed on every page on the website and we want it to go in the header. So these settings are all correct. So we just jump down to here and paste in the tag that we've been given and then click Save. So that should be running now. So if I go back to my analytics account here and I click on Test Installation. So sometimes it takes a moment to come through. So the second time I tested it, you can see now it says your Google tag was correctly detected on your website. So that's that. That's going to be live and tracking now. So if I click Confirm, sometimes the actual data takes, as you can see, up to 48 hours to start appearing in the account. So as long as you've done that test and it says that the data is being received, then we can ignore this little warning here. We close that down. Now, so if we go to Next and continue to Home, so you can see again here it says it might take 48 hours before your property starts collecting data. I am going to ignore this. This is just telling us how it will be sending me emails. So I'm happy with those settings as they are. And here we are in the actual account. So you can see we're in the account that I set up, Lorna's ATT Google account. Here we are in the Free to Be Yogi property. And actually it is tracking. You can see it's tracking because we've got one active user showing in the last 30 minutes. So you can always test this just by having a look at the live, what's happening on the site at the moment. So if we have a look at here in the reports section in real-time overview, again, we can see there are things happening on the site. So we know that it's definitely tracking. It started tracking straight away. Everything is good. So that's how you set up a Google Analytics account and generate a tracking tag for your property and then install it onto a WordPress site using the Header and Footer Code Manager plugin.